Hey, what's up, guys and gals? It's me, your old buddy, Mr. Moose, back with another edition of Farming Simulator 2015. So today we're back on Paradise Hills on our dedicated server we're trying out. And so far, so good. But I've made some more changes to the map. We added in the soul mod. So now we have to take care of those additional stages of growth. So the first thing I've been doing today is working on getting some of the fields back into shape. And now, Field 1 was planted in soybean. I put the soul mod in. It withered them and killed them. So that field is now been plowed back under. Field 13 was originally sowed in sugar beets, and that one we let wither, so it had to be plowed under as well. So that's what I'm working on. I'm down in the very southwest corner of the map right now working. And this particular field was the one that had sugar beets in it. And so I went ahead and I just plowed it under. Now, when I put the soul mod in, it changed a lot of my figures pretty low. My acidity levels, normally they're like around 6.8. 6.7, 6.8, which is about where you want them. But when I put them into this particular mod, I ended up with my fields really, really acidic, down around 5.4, 5.5. So I've already put a level of lime on this field and plowed it in, which gave me 0.9 tenths of percent in lime. So that brought me from like on this particular field, it brought me from 5.3 up to 6.2. So that's where we sit with this field, 6.2. Moisture is 57%. And because I had crop in the field when I plowed it under, that boosted my nitrogen content. So I'm up to 8 on this field. But my PK, my phosphorus level is down around 3. So that's going to be different. This is field number 12 up here. We've never planted anything in it. It was blank when you start the map. So I'm going to start working on it during this video today. And as you can see, my pH level on it is 5.4. So I'm going to spread some pH on it with some lime. And then we'll plow it under. And the reason I'm plowing it under, even though the field is already plowed, is if you spread it on, if you spread lime on flat, you only get 0.7 of a point on it. Whereas if you spread it and then plow it under, you'll go ahead and you'll get the full 0.9 of a point on that. You will lose 14% in soil moisture, but that's all right. For some reason, it seems like the game is giving me moisture, even though I'm using a dry fertilizer here or a dry lime application with the Amazone. So I don't understand that, but I'm not gonna knock it. So we're gonna go ahead and get set up here and get started and go ahead and get our pH. What I'm looking to do is probably do a double dose of lime. I'll do one spraying here, get it in the field, and get it spread, and then afterwards, after it's been plowed in, I will probably do a second coat or like a field dressing once the field has been planted, to get that additional 0.7 of a point, because this application should get me to 6.3. As we drive across the field, you'll see that I'm at a soil pH of 5.4. So if I get 0.9 of a point out of this application, that's only going to get me to 6.3. I want to be up around 6.8. So I have two options. I can go ahead and put another coat down and then cultivate it under. That will give me 0.9 of a point. Or I could put another coat down on top of the planting and just leave it, and that will give me 0.7 of a point. Now, keep in mind, we are going to lose, anytime that you put down nitrogen on the field, you lose 0.2 of a point in your soil pH. Anytime that you put a herbicide down on the field, you'll lose 0.2 of a point. And then you're naturally going to lose 0.2 of a point in between growth stages 2 and 3, just because it's going to use up a little bit of that pH. So keep those numbers in mind. Right now, on the fields that we've plowed under that had crop in them, those are going to have a higher nitrogen content than these are. and they're not going to need to have nitrogen spread on them, so we won't lose the 2/10 there. So for instance, the field 13 that we just planted, it's got 8 nitrogen and 3 PK on it, or phosphorus. I would need to go ahead and do another application of phosphorus on there, not necessarily add in the nitrogen to it, so I wouldn't lose that 2 points in nitrogen, or the 2 points due to a nitrogen application. So that field over there is only going to really lose 4/10 of a point in pH, because it'll lose 2 points when we put herbicide on it, and 2 points in growth stage 2-3. So that one I might just field dress that, and after I plant it, just put a field dressing on top of it, and that would give me that 7/10 of a point. Whereas this field, because it is going to have to, with its nitrogen content being 4x and its PK being 2, it's going to have an application of nitrogen added to it, and because of that, I'm going to have to I'm going to lose a little bit more of my pH. So this one might just get double coated, like plow a coat of, plow one under and then plow another application of lime under at the exact same time. So I might plow it once and get my 9, and then come back and spread it again, cultivate it, and get another 9 to get me up pretty high, and go from there. That would give me like around 7.2, something like that. So then when I lost, if I'm up around 7.2, 7.3, somewhere in there, I lose 6 points, or 6/10 of a point during the whole planting and growth stage. That would drop me down to around 6.6, which is pretty good, pretty optimal. That's about where you want to be. Right around 6.6, 6.7, 6.8, right in there. That's considered neutral, and about where you want to be. So that's what we're doing anyways. That's the game plan and what I'm working on. Having the soil mod in, it completely changes the way you do the farming, but I think it's going to be fun. I've added in a couple of more pieces of equipment. I've got the John Deere sprayer in here, the self-propelled version of it that I use on Manchester. I've got in here now, and I've got some other sprayers that I added in. I'll show you guys real quick. I went in and added, let's see what I got. I added in sprayers. I've got this, which is, all of these are like Reaper versions. This is the John Deere 4730 sprayer that I use on Manchester. This is the John Deere 7321 sprayer. It's 40 meters wide. It's a tow behind, works really good, has 5,000 liter capacity. I mean, that's just huge. Then you've got this one here, which is 24 meters. And it's basically the in-game version, just branded to be John Deere. It's 24 meters, and then you've got the front sprayer tank as well. So I added all that in, trying to keep that whole John Deere theme going for the map. So, oops, I forgot something. I forgot that on a dedicated server, when you go into the where am I at? What is going on here? Where did I go? I forgot on a dedicated server, when you go into the store, it doesn't like stop the game. Like on single player, if I go into the store in single player, I stop moving and nothing happens. Whereas on this one, if you do that in multiplayer on a dedicated server, you just keep driving across the field. So you got to take your foot off the accelerator. Silly me. So what I think I'm going to do is, when I get to the top of the field, I'm going to put Harold, the hired hand, to work just plowing this under, and that'll give me the ability to go do a few other things on the server. And again, just keep in mind, guys, I keep telling you it's a server. I do keep in mind it is a private server. I've got it closed off. It's just me and some close friends playing on it, testing it out, and to make sure how it's going to run, as I'm looking for a server for Farm Sim 17. I played on another server late Friday night, early Saturday morning with the Northern Alex. He's got American Outback, the big version of American Outback, set up on a server out of Chicago, and he and I played on it with a whole bunch of his subscribers, and it ran surprisingly well as well. So I've gotten some information from him as far as what server he's using there. So there are some decent servers out that are much better than the one I've got states on. So I think I just got hosed with that one, so which is unfortunate. And he has the whole argument that that Varied Games gave me about, well, you know, server lag is primarily caused by having mods on your server, and especially mods that have errors in them. Alex is running that server with at least 25 mods that have errors in them. And I mean, because I looked at his list of mods that he's using, number one, and just at how many mods he's got on the server, but then I looked at how many errors are in the mods, and it's just, I mean, seriously, there's got to be 25 to 30 mods that have errors on that server, and it ran fine. I don't remember having a hiccup, maybe one little hiccup on the server, and it ran really well. And so I don't buy it. I don't buy that it's errors, because again, this server running fine, and I've got, you know, 6-8 error files that have errors, including the map. And the errors are stupid little things like, oh, well, you used a space in this name when you shouldn't have used a space in this name, or this particular tractor doesn't have a proper title or proper description. The errors aren't like incredible coding errors, or, you know, the DDS file is too large. We only like it to be this size, you know. Yes, I'm sure that some errors will cause issues on a server, but not like what we're getting on the other one. And especially since I've only got like 4 files on that server that have errors, and it's just the performance on it is so pathetic. Just after playing on a couple of different ones, I'm really starting to realize that server is just, I'm getting a raw deal on it, which I wrote those guys a really nice letter this morning explaining that to them, and that if they wanted to keep my business, they really ought to fix that server. But anywho, so we're still looking, and but I'm narrowing my choices down as we go. So it's nice to know that I got some options out there. But so yeah, we had a good weekend. We've been playing a lot on this server. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Recon joined us Thursday night for some login. I did a live stream on that. Friday night we did some more just making compost to get the greenhouses up and running, and then planted some chaff, or some corn for chaff, and got that going. Let me run down here and get Harold working. But yeah, and then we cut that chaff. I did go back and off camera. If you watch the live stream Friday night or watch the replay of the live stream Friday night, you'll know that I accidentally hit the button to change seed on my seeder, and went from seeding corn to seeding sugar beets somehow. And I ended up with a row and just a small little bit of sugar beets in the field over there on field 2 up by the farm, and we harvested around that. I did yesterday during the football game. I decided I would go back and get one of the sugar beet harvesters and go harvest that up because I wanted to get the beet pulp maker going and see what that was all about. So I have done that, and I ended up getting a full 40,000 liters of beets out of that field, or like 38,000 liters of beets out of the field. It was a really good yield. I was pretty happy about that. All right, go ahead and hire some help. All right, so just off the front of this tractor, you'll see we got 5.4 acidity, 57%. Oh, this isn't going to work because this field's already plowed. I'm going to have to plow it manually. All right, I'll come back to it. So anyways, off the front of this, you'll see we got 5.4 acidity, 57% moisture, 4 nitrogen, 2 pK. If we come back here behind the plow to this section, we're not quite getting the full, there we go, 6.2 acidity, and we didn't lose any moisture. I don't understand that. We should have lost 14% in moisture. I think it's looking at that fertilizer spreader as a liquid because it came out neutral on that. So that's weird. It should have calculated a 14% loss in moisture right there. Anyways, we'll come back and we'll plow this under manually. I'll go ahead and shut the motor off so we're not wasting fuel. We'll run up here real quick, and there we go. Quick jump. All right. We'll get this sprayed, and then I'll come back and plow, and we'll get it going. But yeah, so since I had that little sugar beet mistake, I went ahead and harvested all of the sugar beets out, and I brought them down here and put them in the beet pulp machine, and I've got that running. So that's supposed to make sugar beet pulp, and I guess that makes like a compost that you can use as well. So again, some of this stuff I've never played with, so I'm learning a lot of it. I've used the milk machine and I've used some other stuff, but some of this stuff I've never seen before. I still haven't located, let's see, I located the flour mill. It's right behind the flour mill I located, and it's right behind the general store down in the valley there. But I haven't located where the grain dryer is. That's the one I need to look around and see if I can find it. The other thing, what else did I not know? Pig zone and cow zone. Somebody who's played this map can tell me. If you look over there between fields 1 and field 5, I'm getting the flash for cow zone, and there's also the marker for pig zone. There's nothing there. There's no buildings or anything there, but like I'm getting a high demand for beef at the cow zone. I guess those markers are in the wrong place, I would assume, because I don't see anywhere to sell cattle there. Maybe I'm just missing something. Was there something there for those who played this map on an earlier version? Was there something there that got moved maybe and the markers didn't get moved? Curious. Hate when that happens. Sort of annoying. All right. So we'll get this spread out, and I'll get the plow and plow it under. Should be good. Yeah, getting back to the whole sugar beet thing, I would love to see them fix that in FS17 to where you can't change seeds in the middle of planting. You shouldn't be able to. I mean, you should have to and one of the things I like about Farm Expert is you should have to go to the mercantile or whoever co-op, buy your seed either in bulk or buy it by the pallet or by the bag or whatever, and then or get a bulk delivery, like they give you a seed, like something like a J&M trailer full of seed that you take field side and you fill up all your planters with it. But they ought to give you that option, or you buy it and it just automatically shows up in your silo, whatever you want to do. I'm gonna get this last little bit. As I was going up debating on whether to do it or not. You should have to go though buy your seed. It either miraculously appears in a grain silo for that particular seed, and then once you've done that, then you can go, get your seed however you need for the particular application. But when you take your planter to get seed, you should have to specify then what seed you're going to do, then go plant your field, and you shouldn't run into any of those little stupid errors where all of a sudden you go from planting corn to planting sugar beets because you accidentally hit the wrong button. That shouldn't really happen. And as much as I like to see everything compartmentalized, and like the soybean have its own storage facility and the corn have its own storage facility and all that other stuff, like you've got a grain tower or grain silo specifically for, I'm gonna go out this way for this, follow the road and the path, go through the mud here a little bit. But yeah, it would be cool to have a grain silo for each particular grain that you were harvesting, which I know that would take up a lot of real estate, but it would be more realistic because I'm not going to have one grain silo on my farm and have wheat, corn, barley, all that in one thing. And really, I'm not going to be storing that much on the farm anyways. Most of the time, you're selling most of that stuff off. And I'm driving down here to the farm to show an example of a way you could do things. I mean, yeah, there's only like 4 grain silos down here modeled, but this is still a good example of how Giants could have done things. Where they didn't. If you come to this particular grain area here, you got one drop-off point to drop everything off, and it goes to wherever. And then you've got one loading spot here where you can load whatever you want to load. But if you look at the tally board over here, you'll see that every fruit is on here, including seeds too. So that's the seeds that I've been making in the Seed Master. You can bring them over here and you can store them in a grain silo so that you can go get your seeds. Well, you could easily add each one of these. You've got them stored, but you could actually add the seeds here, and you could have wheat seed, corn seed, you know what I'm saying? You could have each one of them listed, and I think that would be really cool, so that you came and you went to the mercantile or the co-op, you bought your seed, it was stored at this facility, and then you just came here with either an overloader or your planter, and you got the seed that you desire to go ahead and put in there. That would be cool. So anyways, I was just thinking about that and thought I'd ramble off about it. I got to flip this thing over to NPK. I'm going to come over here to the fertilizer silo, and I'm going to go ahead and refill my fertilizer spreader because I am going to need to spray some more lime. All right, so I'll set it back to lime. and we shall head back out to the field. And there's where I've got the sugar beet harvester stored over there. I pretty much plan on this just being... Oh, I thought I'd take you all over here too. Again, some of you guys have probably played this map. You already know where everything's at. So when I take these little tours and diversions around the map, it's more for people who haven't watched it, don't know anything about it. So, anyways. Oh, that's going to roll right into it. Yep. Oops. No brakes. I can't figure out why. So this is the, as you can see, I got a little bit of something coming out of this end of it, and it's working. This is the Flegel Beatmaster. And so to work this thing, we'll bring up the help menu. You put in your beets and you put in water, and it's going to make beet pulp. And I don't know if it makes compost and beet pulp or what, or if it's like, I'm sort of feeling like it's going to make both. But it shows us the percentage of water right here is, you got a little sight glass here that shows you how much water is in this. You just back the water trailer up here. You don't get a tip icon on the water. You just have to back up to this point and hit R, and it will flow the water right out onto this. And then your sugar beets you just deposit right here. And so yeah, you get the product coming out. And I'm guessing you just pull under here to off. Oh, you got 2 offload chutes. Okay, well that makes sense then. So we got a silo master here for one of them. And then the beet master, I'm guessing this looks like compost here. So I'm guessing this one throws out your compost, and this one here throws out your beet pulp. I could be completely backwards on that. We'll know later on because we'll mess around with it a little bit. So yeah, that's what this particular device is. And then over here is the pig master, or forage master is what it's called. But this is where you make the pig feed. And so if we open up the panel here, you'll see you put in wheat and barley, wheat or barley, potato, sugar beet, or beet pulp. And the product of that is pig forage. And then I guess you can either feed that to the pigs, or you can take that and sell it off. So those are your 2 more machines that are on this map. Like I said, this map has got an amazing amount of stuff on it. And anybody who's played this map and knows where everything's at, I'm still looking for where the grain dryer is. So if anybody wants me to point me in the general direction, or let me know where the grain dryer is, that would be great. Appreciate that info. But yeah, so we're getting along, we're getting going. This field here is ready to be fertilized and I guess fertilized and planted. Whereas this one up here is going to have to be, I'm going to plow this under, and then I'll end up putting a complete new application on this field and cultivating it under. All right, so let's go ahead and get this started. Oops, sorry about that. I think I just banged my microphone. So we'll get GPS set up so we can get some nice straight lines going. We'll do a new one. We'll snap it 90 degrees. Adjust it to the side of the field. So let's bring that on over. Come on now. Get all the way over here. There we go. Now we'll go ahead and drive around real quick. That look like that's the right size. It may be. Get rid of that. I'm wondering if I should scale this down to 15 meters instead of a full 15.2. That's probably a better idea. So let's crank that down to 15 meters. There we go. And adjust the course accordingly. It'll have a little overlap maybe, but I'd rather have a little overlap than too much miss. Alright, so we'll go ahead and drop that down. There we go, and we'll get to plowing. Get that going. So yeah, that's what we're doing. And like I said, I've already come up here. I've plowed field 1 under with an application of lime on it to raise up the pH level in it. Field 2, I haven't done anything with it since we harvested it, so it's just sitting there. And I'm going to go with the Soul Mod for a little bit and see how it goes. Now, the one thing I noticed on field number 1 and field number 2 is these stripes on the field. And we'll jump over there in a little bit and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Because they've got me concerned. Those stripes make me feel like there's something wrong with the Soul Mod installation on the map, because when my plants withered, I had these funny lines in the field where everything else withered except for those lines, and it's like seams in the field where certain sections are at, and it's like I don't know how that works. Like, having never made a map and never made the field sizes and everything, I don't know if like Giant's model has certain size boxes or field definitions, and then you put those down to make the field, and maybe those seams are showing up on the map because of the whole fact that it's Soul Mod is showing those seams. Maybe I've never run into that issue. I've seen it before on some other maps, but I've never actually, on a map I'm playing, I've never actually run into that issue, so I don't necessarily know that much about it. But yeah, I got a little bit of overlap here, but that's alright, I can deal with it. It's quite a bit of overlap actually, if you... yeah, it's not too bad. 15.2 would have worked. But we've got it set up for 15, and we'll go with that. Get a little bit of plowing done. Get our fields ready to go. But yeah. So anyways, what else is happening? That's about it. Didn't do a live stream on Saturday night just because there's a lot going on, and I watched the game and I got everything set up and was thinking I was going to do it. Then the girlfriend called and wanted me to come down to the restaurant and meet some of her family and that was in town and have a drink with them, and so I did that. And by the time I got down home, it was pretty late, and there was I had agreed with Northern Alex to do some Arma 3 on Saturday night for his live stream, so I didn't want to start up a live stream and not have enough time to do the live stream justice and make it over to his live stream. And unfortunately his live stream never happened because we had a whole lot of problems trying to get the Ace 3 mod onto his dedicated server. Him, Dan, and myself were actually up until like 5 a.m. Sunday morning still messing with the server, trying to get it to get the Ace 3 mod installed properly and actually work, because we want to do some medevac flights and you know, take some medical missions where we get called out to go and medevac people out, treat them. And you need the Ace 3 mod to be actually able to treat the patients when you get on site. So weren't able to get that working. Hopefully Alex gets that working later on, and we can do that, because looking forward to that. I am going to start playing some Arma with him and Dan and Rob and a couple of other folks, and looking forward to that. After talking to him Friday night, he's really got an idea about putting together a squad and playing Arma maybe 2-3 times a week. And if we get, I've always been wanting that. I've been wanting a squad to play with on a regular basis of people who understood tactics and actually took it seriously and played it as a more as a role play, as and got into the whole thing of working as a squad together, and having your sectors that you cover, and working together. And he seems to be into it and wants to get that going as well. So don't be surprised if there starts to be a little bit of Arma on the channel, because I do enjoy that kind of thing. And if I've got a good little group together that I'm playing with, then it's going to be something that I do on a regular basis and incorporate into the channel a little bit, because I'm sure some of you guys would enjoy that. But it's a work in progress, so it may not happen immediately. It may take a little bit of time to get that going, but I'm looking forward to it, and see how that plays out. And as I mentioned earlier, I played a little bit of Farm Sim late Friday night, early Saturday morning with Alex on his server on the large version of American Outback, or the big version of American Outback. Wow, it's completely different than the other one. But did some potato harvesting 2 meters at a time, and that was quite fun. I didn't record any of it because I was just there for support. I was part of Alex's stream and just hanging out with him, and I didn't want to try to do any kind of recording or anything else like that, because I don't know how that would have translated into any kind of video. But that was fun. Had a good time playing with them, and doing a little potato harvest in there, topping and doing that. So that was a lot of fun. Appreciate him having me out for that. Well, that's about it. That's about all that's going on. Back into the swing of things this week, and see how things go. I have no idea what I'm going to record for this week. I'm just going to wing it. I'm actually having a lot of fun on Paradise Hills with this new map. States hasn't really tickled my fancy as much as this one did. This one just really got me excited to play on, and so I'm sure you guys can tell by the fact that I've been doing, last week I did 4 live streams on Paradise Hills, and here I am recording some more content on it. So yeah, I mean, it's sort of got my interest, piqued my interest, especially because there's so much on it and there's so much you can do. And so yeah, I'm gonna mess around with it a little bit, and hopefully bring the guys into the whole soul mod thing and get them familiar with how to use it. And we're also going to test out put the whole notes system on here, so that you can leave notes about each field and say, well, okay, well, I sprayed this field, or I did something on this field, and that way if Recon comes behind me and does something on the field, he'll know where the field's at just by looking at the numbers and looking at the notes. So I'm going to incorporate that into this one and mess around with it a little bit, and go from there. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I've got a mod that you can put in the game that allows you to leave notes for other people to see. I've put that onto the Farm Sim server, the dedicated server, the public server with states on it. I've got it on there, but with the anticipation that I might have added Soul Mod onto states, but then I picked up this server, and so I'm probably going to incorporate it over here, play with it over here a little bit, and make sure how it works. The problem with the note system is it doesn't come up automatically. Everybody has to press a button to actually get it to come up. You have to press the G key to have it come up, and I'm not sure that I actually have it installed yet. I gotta look and see if I installed it over here. No, I didn't install it over here, but I will install it over here, and I'll give you guys another rundown on it as soon as I get it installed. But on the dedicated server, the public server with states, I've got it on there, and you have to hit G to bring up the interface, and then people can read through the notes. And the problem with that is, unless people pay attention and they read the notes where I told everybody I put it on the server, well, then they don't even know it exists, and they don't read the notes, and they go off and do things like plow under the grass field on states, and then I have to go back in there and reseed the grass fields because somebody thought it would be a great idea to cultivate them under. So yeah, I mean, that's the problem with the dedicated server, is if everybody's not communicating and everybody's not on the same page, some really silly things get done. And you know, I've seen a couple of guys sort of get frustrated because they've gotten on and they're starting to see some of the things that I've been putting up with, as far as tractors left all over the place and people not completing tasks. And there is an issue where the server sometimes will go backwards a little bit, but some of the issues are just ridiculous how bad they are. And when I catch them in the middle of the day, I know it's not a server backup because the server started early in the morning and I can see when everybody's been on the server. So it's one of those things that you have to deal with. Which goes to another point. If you jump on the dedicated server and you do something during the day, and you do a whole bunch of work, and you get offline, and especially later in the evening, if you haven't seen me on there, leave me a note on Discord, just saying, hey Moose, I was on the server and I did such and such. You probably need to save it before the evening's over, and that way at the end of the night, I'm trying to do a pretty good job about keeping up with it. At the end of the night, when I've finished everything else, I can jump on there, use the admin panel, and save the game, and then that way it's current when it goes to restart the system. Because, and I've covered this before, what's going on is periodically you'll be working, and let's say at 8 o'clock you were right here in the middle of this field, and it was 8 o'clock and the game's saved. Well, the game's not going to save for another hour and a half, so that means it won't save again until 9:30. Well, you're going to finish this field before 9:30. Let's say you finish around 9:15 and you log out. If nobody else comes on the server between 9:15 and 3 o'clock in the morning, when 3 o'clock in the morning comes in, the server goes into hibernation when you log out and there's nobody else on there. So from 9:15 the server stops working and it doesn't reach that 9:30 save point, but 3 o'clock in the morning comes and it's time to reboot the server. When it reboots, it reverts back to the last game save, which was 8:30, which is absolutely stupid. It just goes back to how bad FarmSim's dedicated server software is. I mean, when it goes into a save cycle, it should go, protocol should be save the game, restart the computer, go back to that last game save you did. But no, that's not the way Giants has it done. It just says restart the server, go back to the previous game save, instead of actually doing a fresh save right before it does a reboot. Really stupid. Really brilliant. Great piece of coding there, Giants. Oh, I hope they've done some work on the server before FS17 comes out. But anyway, so that causes some issues, and it will also cause an issue where you'll jump on the server and you'll see that somebody has left a mower right smack in the middle of the field without anything in it. Don't be so quick to jump somebody for that. Yeah, that could be a possibility that they finished mowing and they did all the work and they put everything up and the server restarted and put the mower back out in the middle of the field. I've come to realize that, and so I'm a little less irritated by stuff like that. But there are some situations where you realize this was somebody just was lazy. You can tell the difference in between absolute I'm just too lazy to put the tractor up and somebody got caught by the server. And it's usually when I was on early in the morning and I knew everything was back into place, and then I get on at 4 in the afternoon and tractors are everywhere all over the place. I know somebody's been on the server and they've just left everything and don't care. So that's usually how I know what's up. All right, here's what we're gonna do, because this is gonna take me a little bit longer to get this plowed, but as you can see again, that's what we're working on here, is getting all this plowed under. I want to jump up here and we'll use this tractor real quick for what I was talking about. Get rid of our IC. I want to run over here and show you what I was talking about with these fields and show you what's up. So if we come over here to field 1, see that dark line there and this dark perimeter line? I've got this perimeter line here and this line straight through here. And then if we come down to the other end of the field, I get the same thing at the other end. I've got it right here. There's another one. And as you can see, so there's like little seams here in the field. Don't know what's causing that but it just appeared when I put the soul mod in. And I get the same thing over here in field number 2. I'm seeing it over here. Which is going to cause some issues, I'm sure. As you can see, it's pretty, very prominent over here. It's like the fields are set up in these squares, and these are the seams of where all the squares come together. And the soul mod doesn't recognize the seams. So I don't know if that's going to be a huge issue moving forward. We'll see. And that could be a deciding factor as to whether we keep the soul mod in the game and run with it or what. But yeah, I mean, it's so uniform and the seams are there. That's got to be something that soul mod's not seeing, and it could be something to do with the texture or the terrain and dirt mod conflicting with the soul mod. I'm not real sure. I did go in and take a little bit of looking at the terrain and dirt mod today. I think I figured out where to go in and turn off the crop destruction in terrain and dirt, so that the only crop destruction I have is through drive control. And I'll mess around with that a little bit and see if I can't get that to work, or get rid of it. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to show that to you because I did talk about it and I wanted to actually show that to you. As you can see, I've got my John Deere sprayer now on the farm. So, yeah. I know some of you guys are sick of me doing all John Deere equipment, but I enjoy it. And at the end of the day, it's, I gotta have fun. Mix it up. I'm using different John Deere equipment at least, you know, with the exception of the old 9650 or 9560 over here. I put that one on because Hemi really likes it a lot. Anyways, so I wanted to show you that, but oh, and also I came over here yesterday during the football game, and I put the Beast on here. It was just taking too long to grind wood. And as far as mods go, I've been really slow to put mods on the server. Again, I'm testing, so I put a little bit on. I see how the server performs. Then I put a few more mods in, see how the server performs with those on there. I cleaned up a lot of this and got rid of a lot of the stumps that were in here yesterday while I was watching the football game, and got a lot of the wood off the ground over here. But we still have a tremendous amount of wood laying on the ground, and I'm pretty shocked that that hasn't caused any performance issues, which makes me feel a little bit better about maybe doing some baling on here. If we can hold this much wood on the ground and not have any issues, it'd be nice to, you know, maybe that says that I could do a little bit of baling as well. So I need to get a Brooks Oon input on here as well so that we can run through and clear some of these treetops up that are on the ground. But we'll come over here, replant this whole area and get that going. But I did put the Beast on here so that I could do some wood chipping, and I sold the other chipper off, got me a Peterbilt to haul that around with. So yeah, that's what I did yesterday during the football game. The wood's still working. They're still cooking away. I took most of the wood chips, though, that I made, hauled them over to the composter, made compost with that. And I've got all but one of the greenhouses up and running. So making progress on everything. So that's about what is happening. So anyways, I'm going to get back to plowing this field under and continue to do a little farming. Oh, little lag spike there we haven't seen. But yeah, I'm going to keep on plowing this under, and then I will move forward with getting these fields prepped, and I'll do some more recordings for you guys. But I did just want to get you guys up to date on what's going on the farm and what we're doing. We will do some Paradise Hills live streams this week. Let me know in the comments if you're enjoying the Paradise Hills map. I really like it. I think it's a lot of fun, and I think we'll probably focus in on it a lot. I know a lot of people have asked me if I've given up on Manchester, and the answer is no, but at the same time it's sort of a yeah. I mean, if we find a cool map like this that we can do a whole lot on, it makes sense to focus on this map and play it and do a little bit of everything on it. Whereas, you know, y'all have seen just about everything I'm going to do on Manchester. Though I haven't given up on Manchester, because whenever he releases Manchester version 5, I'm definitely going to go back to Manchester and play Manchester version 5. So I haven't completely given up on it, but I am going to take probably, you know, with this map and try to play a little bit on states and do some other things. Probably not going to be doing any Manchester for a little bit. And I know that's probably disappointing to some of you guys, but there's so much we can do on here that I really would like to give this map a fair shake. So let me know in the comments if you're enjoying it. Now, if enough of you guys just say no, we want Manchester, I'll go back and do Manchester. But I would really like to get some cattle on this map, get the dairy going, get the Milk Max factory going over there so that we're making the homogenized milk, and do that, as well as you know, explore all that is on this map. There's an egg facility on this map that I know nothing about, and so I've got to learn a little bit about it as well, and so I can show that to you guys. And yeah, so anyways, but yeah, Hope you guys have a great day today. Appreciate you watching as always. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next live stream. If not, come on back for the next video. And until then, stay safe. Have a great day. I will see you later. Bye-bye. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, I hope you consider giving it a like, maybe even sharing it with your friends. It does help me out a tremendous amount and is greatly appreciated. Also, leave some comments down below. That's really the only way I can gauge if you guys are enjoying what's being put out. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you want daily notifications. I try to do a new video each and every day. Also, if you want to stay in touch with me and find out what's going on, our social links are down in the bottom left-hand corner. Twitter is where I usually announce schedule changes, live streams, and new video releases. Facebook's a great way to get in touch with me if you have any questions to ask. And of course, I am trying to get to 1,000 followers on Google+, which I know I'll probably be old and gray before that happens. But if you can jump over there and follow me, it would be super awesome. So if you like today's video, there's a whole lot more content on the channel. I hope you'll browse through it, find something to keep yourself entertained until the next video or live stream. Speaking of live streams, I try to do them nightly around 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Until the next time, thanks again for watching. See you soon.